I'm delighted to welcome you and to declare open this ceremony for the conferment of degrees and other academic distinctions. Please take your seats. And before they leave, I always thank a few people at the end of the ceremony. But Thistle Brass, who welcome us into our ceremony on each occasion, are always out of the hall by the time they get thanked. So I've asked them to stay behind today so that we can show our appreciation. Thank you very much for playing again this afternoon, but at every other ceremony this year. Thank you. And welcome. I hope you're going to have a fabulous afternoon. I hope you've had a chance to look through the campus while it's still daylight, those of you who are maybe here for the first time. And I hope you're going to have a fabulous evening as well. The music that Thistle Brass play as we come in is called So Let Us Rejoice, and I definitely want you all to do that this afternoon. This day has been a long time coming for some of you. I know that it's been a difficult journey for others, but we're all here to celebrate. And I was just saying at this morning's ceremony, I went to a graduation ceremony in London 3 weeks ago, a university that will not be named, where I was in the audience as a guest of one of the people who was graduating, and I was shocked that there was more noise up in the gallery where I was sitting with the rest of the guests than there was in the body of the hall, in the Royal Festival Hall, where all the students and staff and so on were sitting. And the noise seemed to me to be the wrong way round. We don't want people with their mobile phones and chatting amongst the guests, but we certainly want noise when people are going on the stage to receive their degrees. And I have a bit of a personal objective to make sure that the University of Stirling's graduation ceremonies are the most noisy and most celebratory anywhere. So I need your help to do that today, and I'm sure I'm going to have it. And I want to start off in that regard by recognising that although you've all worked very hard to get here and you're going to get your degrees and other distinctions this afternoon, at many times along that journey you will have had support from your family and friends who will either be here with you today or maybe watching on the live stream. So please join me in thanking them at the very start of this ceremony for all the support that they have given you. And please keep the noise going as we go through all the ceremony. Today we have, I think, 37 different nationalities joining us to receive their degrees and other awards, an indication of the internationalisation of this university and the fact that its attractiveness and influence goes far and wide. Some of you will have needed a passport to get here, therefore, but for all of you today, this is the passport out beyond university to the next stage in your life. And I hope that in celebrating that today, you give a very firm commitment that you will use what you have learned to lead and help shape your future, but also all our futures as well. We need minds like yours to help us tackle the big challenges of our time, from climate change and pandemics to artificial intelligence and conflict, ageing populations, particularly in the developed world, huge young populations, particularly in the developing world. All of these challenges need creative, curious minds to help us through to the other side. And I'm very sure that those of you who are here today are going to be very much part of that story, because we have the next generation of teachers, social workers, criminologists, HR managers, business people, entrepreneurs, all with us this afternoon. A real mix of disciplines, which Stirling has always been famous for, bringing together the different disciplines and giving much more flexibility in degree courses than many of the other more traditional universities. But that doesn't damage your prospects, because at Stirling University, over 96% of Stirling's graduates are in work or further study within 15 months of graduating. So I hope your prospects are good, even excellent, and I hope you're going to use that opportunity. You are going to be our future leaders and change makers, and you'll be at the forefront of developing and informing innovative solutions to societal problems. and we are relying on you to make a difference, or as the university posters say, to be the difference. In recent years, and I know this will have affected many of you in different ways, we've experienced a global pandemic which affected so many, including students whose education was interrupted. Many of you will have started your degrees, I suspect, around 2020, and that will have been a real challenge over these 3 years. So I'm sure to get to this point, you've had to develop significant levels of resilience. And I often look to Maya Angelou, the late American writer, for inspiration. And one of my favourite quotes from her is that I can be changed by what happens to me, but I will not be reduced by it. And you were not reduced by this uncertain period in your lives. You've come through, you're graduating, you deserve everything that you've achieved to get here. And my admiration for you coming through that is truly off the scale, and I'm sure that your family and friends share that same sentiment. And the university also had to chart its course through that difficult period. But as a university, we didn't just survive, we have thrived as well. If you've been here over the past 3 academic years, you'll have seen the completion of Campus Central, where the reception will be at the end of the ceremony today. An award-winning development, transforming the centre of the campus from the old bus stop roundabout that I experienced when I was a student here back in the early days to what is now state-of-the-art facilities, both indoors and outdoors, for students and visitors alike. And these new sports facilities adjacent to the tennis centre here, world-class facilities for a university that does excel in sport, but also uses these facilities for the wider community. And that builds a connection between the university and the community that is very precious to us. We're very proud that the university is held in the highest regard by its peers for teaching, for employability, for research, for internationalisation, for facilities and for inclusiveness. In each of these 6 areas, Stirling University got a maximum 5 stars in the QS Stars University ratings. As well as that, we're first in the UK and top 3 in the world for campus environment, and you can see why that's the case today. We're first in the UK and we're top 5 in the world for sports facilities. And of course, we're Scotland's University of Sporting Excellence, many headquartered sporting organisations here. And we're top 30 in the UK for overall postgraduate student experience. And our first Chancellor, I don't think he could have imagined that, but he did set out great ambitions for the university back in 1967-68. Lord Robbins was the first Chancellor of this university, and we were very lucky to have him as the Chancellor. He had written the report in the early 1960s that led to the massive expansion of higher education, the Robbins report, that allowed many people who would never previously have had the opportunity to go to university in the UK. And Stirling University was one of the results of that report as new universities were created in different parts of the country. And he set, in his first speech here, he set 3 challenges. One was to be at the heart of the community, and Stirling has always been very close to its community in Stirling and the rest of Forth Valley. One was to be innovative. Some people say innovation is our middle name. We've always been a little bit different in the way that we structure the courses and assess students and the partnerships that we develop. So we still do that today. And then thirdly, it was to be international and to be outward-looking, not to be inward-looking, but to be an outward-looking institution that recognised that we were part of a wider world. And today, international students account for more than 1/3 of our student population. We're very proud to have no fewer than 141 different nationalities in our student body. 141. We teach internationally as well. We partner with institutions in other countries on dual degrees. Without doubt, we are international. And this, I certainly believe, and I know the university leadership endorses this, this enriches the fabric of the university and the experience for all of our students and our staff. When I graduated from Stirling just over 40 years ago, there were about 2,750 students, and I think about 150 postgrads. We're probably graduating about 150 postgrads in one ceremony today, but there was about 150 in total. And the university was very new, was challenged for the quality of its teaching and its research, and really had to prove that there was a demand for this new university to survive, and we did. And thankfully today, Stirling University is a thriving community of more than 18,500 students globally. And back then there were real challenges about the quality of research, but today the National Research Excellence Framework judges that Stirling University's research is either outstanding or of very considerable impact on society in 87% of cases. And there are some amazing, remarkable examples of that. We are leading, I think we could safely say, we're certainly leading Britain, maybe leading the world, in research and development on appropriate housing for older people. Fantastic work being done, not just here in Stirling, in partnership with Sweden, in partnership with Japan, and elsewhere. I was recently in Romania with Professor Andrew Tyler and the Doors project, where we're leading a big European partnership with 34 different partners to look at the environment and the economy of the Black Sea, which has become very topical, obviously, as a result of the war in Ukraine. And in fact, it was Stirling University researchers and academics who were helping Ukraine to identify new water sources after that dam burst earlier in the year, when there was such a tragedy in that part of the country as part of the war there. And you know, we're doing some remarkable work in remarkable places, and we're about to develop and open and ultimately integrate innovation hubs in the environment and dementia services. They're going to come together, a special international centre here that I think will be groundbreaking too. So none of this progress is possible without quality staff helping students not only achieve their degrees, but helping people outside of this university with answers to big problems in our society. And I just want you to join me in, for all the work that they have done to make sure you get your degrees and awards today. I want you to join me in thanking all the staff of the university for the contribution that they have made. And finally, just as you leave the university today, you don't just leave with an award, you become part of a much wider community. Over 100,000 now alumni of Stirling University around the world. And you should feel very proud to be part of that. I think being at Stirling University, maybe it's the campus, I don't know, but you feel part of a community, and I think you always feel a little bit of part of that community for the rest of your lives as well. So I hope you'll return. I hope you'll be engaged with other alumni in the years to come. And I hope you'll always appreciate the benefits of the education that you have had here. In the last 3 weeks, I've been very fortunate to do a lot of travelling, and I've been in Turkana County in the north of Kenya with UNICEF on the Ethiopian border, looking at children being saved from malnutrition, but also having the opportunity to go to school that they perhaps hadn't had before because of partnerships with the government there. I've been in Warsaw meeting ministers from Ukraine who see education as central to their restoration after their war is over. And just this week I was in Saudi Arabia, where the country's changing quite dramatically, but again education is at the forefront of their vision for a different kind of Saudi Arabia in the years to come. And I'm struck everywhere I go that people understand, they see and they believe in education as the real tool for change and for better opportunities in the future. Whether you're in a remote part of northern Kenya, or whether you're trying to rebuild a society damaged by war, or whether you're trying to change a society to compete in the modern world and provide opportunities, education is always part of the answer and central to any real progress. When I was a student, we used to talk about education being a right, not a privilege. And I've become very convinced over the years that it is a right, but it's also a privilege. It's both. So please do use it well. As you leave Stirling University today, glow with pride at leaving and having been part of such an amazing institution, but also go out there and do something with it, and never forget the curiosity and the challenge that comes with a university education, and use it all your lives. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And that's enough for me. So now we will move on, and I will ramble a little bit for a minute or so that everybody has the chance to get to the end of the walkway here and receive their awards. We have two faculties presenting here this afternoon, the Faculty of Social Sciences and then the Stirling Management School. Both have their own story, actually. Back in those early days in the 1980s, one of the reasons Stirling was criticised was because we did too much in the social sciences and not enough in other areas. And the university stuck with the social sciences. And the quality of the work that we do today in research and teaching, I think, is testament to that vision. But also in the 1980s, the early days of the Stirling Management School showed the potential for some real partnership work with business and pioneering work, research and teaching in business and management. And this is one of the best management schools in the world, so don't underestimate the importance of that either. And I now call upon, to start this really proper part of the ceremony, we shall now proceed with the conferment of degrees and other academic distinctions. And I have the pleasure to call upon Professor Liz Forbat of the Faculty of Social Sciences to present the candidates for awards. And I confer upon these candidates the awards for which they are now presented. Liz.
Chancellor, in the name and by the authority of the Academic Council, I present to you, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Carl Richard Alexander Shelgren. Claire Ramjan. For the degree of Master of Research, Educational Research, Adeline Patience Ngozi Dominic. Melanie Liddell. For the degree of Master of Science, Applied Social Research, Louise Dixon. Honora Capucine Gwing Veln. For the degree of Master of Science, Applied Social Research, Professional, Kenneth McInnes. For the degree of Master of Science, Criminological Research, Kate Holligan. For the degree of Master of Science, Criminology, Salem Althani. Nasser Hamid Salim Mohammed Al-Niadi. Helena Joanne Barton. Mirren Cloney. Jorawat Josuban. Fergus McQueen. Zishan Abdul Nasir. Anne Gundere. Alexander Robertson. For the degree of Master of Science, Dementia Studies, Esther Matimuna Bathgate. Siobhan Blair. Felicitas Monica Bukutu. Lei Yi Chan. Raluk Akezi. Tina Patricia Gordon. Lisa Marie Howarth. Suzanne McCall. Marie Noelle Muscat. Maria Christina Summit. Pamela Towers. David Robert Wilson Wynne. Sally Yali. Yaroun Yacoub. For the degree of Master of Science, Disaster Interventions and Humanitarian Aid, Madeline Peter Angong. Chloe Tishaw. For the degree of Master of Science Education, Sarah Santosh. For the degree of Master of Science Educational Leadership, Louise Mary Bailey. Matthew Ramsey. For the degree of Master of Science Educational Leadership, Specialist Qualification for Headship, Caroline Curry. Eileen Paxton. John Stewart. For the degree of Master of Science Educational Research Professional, Hina Dave. For the degree of Master of Science Global Aging and the recipient of the Research-Based Learning Prize awarded for outstanding performance in social science, Michaela Spiteri. For the degree of Master of Science Global Aging, Bolatita Akintola. For the degree of Master of Science Housing Studies, Ensenora Kerichan Chung. Emma Elizabeth Douglas. Andrew James Maguire. Alex McQueen. Helen Portman. For the degree of Master of Science Management and English Language Teaching, Regia Benzerga. For the degree of Master of Science Professional Education and Leadership, Kerry Abercrombie. Elaine Blair. Natalie Craney. Michael Devaney. Kenneth Hamilton. Leslie Hill. Sonia Ann Hirschfeld. Connor Arthur Watters Hutchison. Gillian Catherine McCallum. Shane Stewart Mitchell. Caroline Payton. Stephen Riley. Keith Walton. For the degree of Master of Science, Social Work Studies, Olawetoyin Elizabeth Adiremi. Quinye Theodore Nweyebomi. Erima Kalu Onkuwa Emeya. Sophie Scott. For the degree of Master of Science, Substance Use, Marissa Bruce. Christina Teresa Feeks. Lindsay Haglington. Dominic Kane. Leah Moret. Gemma Pagulian. Samantha Steele. Morgan Ann Torrance. For the degree of Master of Science, Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Hui Chen. Mai Chen. Zi Chao Gao. Yi Lu Lin. Borg San. For the postgraduate diploma, Educational Leadership, Susan Margaret Chambers. Stephen Michael Cowan. John Donnelly. Alan Hamilton. Aileen Meller. Angela Stewart. For the postgraduate diploma, Housing Studies, and the recipient of the Team Construction Endowment awarded to the best part-time student, and the recipient of the Chartered Institute of Housing Prize awarded to the top Housing Studies student, Laura Jane Richards. For the postgraduate diploma, Housing Studies, and the recipient of the Team Construction Endowment Prize awarded to the best internship student, Shirley Ann Scott. For the Postgraduate Diploma Housing Studies, Kerry-Ann Marie Dawson. Karen French. Leanne Gilhooly. Marita Gregg. Charlene Griffin. Lindsay Heggie. Ruth Laird. Alexandria Mackenzie. Jennifer Lee McCann. Nicole Julie McDermott. Kerry Morgan. Lorna Reed. David Reynolds. Kimberly Ann Ronald. Talia Rose Ho. Stacey Shaw. Lucy Shepherd. Jesulonimi Sodeidi. Thomas Spence. Paris Jean Stewart. Abigail Louise Turnbull. Lucy Turner. Jessica Elizabeth Alice Waters. For the Postgraduate Certificate, Applied Professional Studies, Child Welfare and Protection, Elizabeth Baker. Alison Jean Black. Gemma Brown. Amy Elizabeth Denham. Victoria Eastock. Ashley Flanagan. Laura Forsyth. Sarah Joy Gardner. Paula Gleave. Alexander Neil Mounting Gunn. Kelly Johnston. Katie Laurie. Abby Elizabeth Lyle. Amy Jane McClurg. Moira Monday. Barbara Ann Page. Laura Marie Ronald. Emma May Kate Stevenson. Chloe Waters. For the postgraduate certificate, Educational Leadership, Claire Louise Applequist. Kirsty Bianchi. Lisa Brown. Lindsay Ann Brown. Elise Buchanan. Laura Clapperton. Paul Downey. Katrina Feely. Stephanie Fisher. Nicola Hocknell. Graham Johnston. Carol Ann Kay. Sabrina Lynn McCready. Iona McCrory. Jennifer Louise MacDonald. Diane Stewart McCorgan. Louise Mulvey. Linda Rogerson. Siobhan Wilkes. For the postgraduate certificate, Learning and Teaching in Higher Education, Sharon Folds. Ismini Pavlopoulou. Ellie Prentice. Nora Ramadan. Martin Richardson. Karam Shazad. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Criminology and Law, Daniel Arrow. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours French with Spanish and Professional Education Secondary, Charlotte Macmillan. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours History and Sociology, Gavin Ian Pritchard. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Politics and Social Policy, Jade Isabella Berman. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Politics and Sociology, Michael Andrew McQueen. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Social Work, Neve McCowan. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Sociology and Social Policy, Leen Mohammed Ghaffar Ali. Finn Colm Henshaw. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours Biology and Professional Education Secondary, Fatma Mohammed Ahmet Elsut Ali Asi. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Criminology and Law, Donna Gibson. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Criminology and Philosophy, Scott Robertson. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Criminology and Sociology, Matthew John Borner. Katie Delage. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts Education with Specialism in Inclusive Practice, Katie Leslie. For the degree of Master of Science Criminology, David Chimnoya Nawadibimi.
Well, that was quite a list. Lots of wee individual degrees there. Jennifer Foreman, Liz Forbach, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then we go to the awards for the Stirling Management School. Now, this morning, there's a lot of noise from the nurseries and others. So I'm expecting the teachers here to show a little bit of noise for the others that are about to receive their awards. I know you like to keep things quiet in the classroom, but let's make this ceremony ring before we finish. And I call upon Professor Kevin Grant of the Faculty of Stirling Management School to present the candidates for awards, and I confer upon these candidates the awards for which they are now presented.
Chancellor, in the name and by the authority of Academic Council, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Lynn Helen Brearley. Ngozi Blessing Oti. For the degree of Master of Business Administration and the receipt of the Steve Wong Memorial Prize awarded to the most outstanding MBA student, Rika Ramajai Reddy. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Robin Philly Posey George. Adwali Ibrak Himi Kos Ilu. Hirin Na Arib Hai Patel. Manisha Saluja. Margaret Onini Ye Ume Ina A. For the degree of Master of Science, Business Analytics, and the recipient of the Research-Based Learning Prize, awarded for the Best Consultancy Project, Elise Formaza. For the degree of Master of Science, Business Analytics, Bilal Ahmed. Aaron Christopher Blakemore. Walid Boot. Parsad Vinod Dixit. Varnit Gal Halot. Rohit Ganwani. Carolyn Faye Gillette. Gavrav Rajesh Giri. Jaslyn Kaur. Zian Adnan Karathara. Nisha Avagis Kuninu Keri Cheko. Athrava Mahajan. Manavik Malik. Atanha Mumchu Aligo. Chukwimi Mika Chosen O Baze. Ibu Kun Fadare Ol Adi Ijo. Abigail O Puku Safu. Adimi Imi Akimbu La Asho Diai. Dil I Savat. Stephen Scott. Hannah Sherwood. Bhupender Singh. Hachachai Knox-Smith Sarakaran. Anshuman Tihe Wahariri. Chung Ting Yang. For the degree of Master of Science, Business and Management, Sahid Wazam Abbas. Disha Vilas Adusal. Ramaz Ahmed. Kashif Ali. Usman Ali. Zain Ali. Abhailash Athan Agaru. Jatin Gupta. Isra Imran. Barbara Javed. Sandeep Kaur. Usman Khalid. Aman Ullah Khan. Norman Khan. Kansha Mabub. Muhammad Makmuz. Armab Ahmed. Satara Huda Nora. Muhammad Sad Sadar. Yaish Shiha Rama. Prayesh Mahesh Shavalkar. That one's there. It's not scored out. Mohammed Usman. For the degree of Master of Science, Data Science for Business, and the recipient of the Research-Based Learning Prize, awarded for the Best Consultancy Project, Angie Ann Camilliai. For the degree of Master of Science, Data Science for Business, Kuli Adike Ran Akin Tola. Vedant Bangalkar. Ochina Prince Chukwu. Justina Aluchi Imakara. Joseph Gumba. Jeswantha Gunda. Anna Kushmesh. Ahmed Khan Sulam Mohammed. Sarahu Muabili Leo. Spencer Mapersa Sa. Abigail Muir Eva. Whitney Azine Obige Obon Naye. Jayana Louis Samuel. Shikinat Waiwande Shitu. Scott Anderson Smith. Iwan Wu Ulu Wa Tulu Warabora Sorayan. Suhib Tufail. Shyamara Prasad U Pase. Rohan Wak. For the degree of Master of Science, Human Resource Management, YEC Adihi Amalua Akiniwai. Ewan Dickey. Remea Fida. Abhishek Jack at Dio. Bushrana Na Zaire. Ulu Fuwu Niki Olawa Le. For the degree of Master of Science, International Business, Sumamra Aktra. Hamzara Ali. Jamie Allison. Alia Ambrin. Chiara Pia Di Luca. Kuan Toet. Flora Anna Maria Horvath. Mankind Kali Talak Raj. Murin Nickel. Ode Amani Ole Awaze Gun Dimalojole Timi Tokpe. Darsan Patal. Abdul Samid Kuriashiri. Anand Kumar Salidai. Moses Daniel Yali. For the degree of Master of Science Management with New Venture Creation and Innovation, Ijoma Grace Mad Umera. Hassan Ziawar. For the degree of Master of Science, Marketing Analytics, Muhammad Umar Saeed. For the Postgraduate Diploma, Business and Management, Jasprit Kaur. Radhakai Chopra. Shilfalai. Sofrit. For the Postgraduate Diploma Human Resource Management, Sonia Voikere Obtosi. For the Postgraduate Certificate, Business Management, Lajem Babu. For the Postgraduate Certificate, International Business, Taiwu Awi Doji. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours of Business Studies and Law, Nicola Chalmers Watkinson. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours of Business Studies and Management, Nicoletta Powai Chapaku? No, I tried. For the ordinary degree of Bachelor of Arts, Lucy Janet Abernathy. For the Diploma of Higher Education, Roswitha Luckett. For the awards in the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, for the degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Amy Elizabeth McMillan. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, History, Caitlin D. Hale. For the awards in the Faculty of Health Science and Sport, for the degree of Master of Science, Advancing Practice, Clinical Practice, Ismi Wengpen I Wahoo. For the degree of Master of Science, Psychology of Sport, Holly Miller. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Sports Studies, Thomas William Stedman. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Nursing, Miriam Mourinho Palmio. For the awards in the Faculty of Natural Science, for the degree of Master of Science, Mathematics and Data Science, Gululam Mustafa. For the degree of Master of Science, Business and Management, Priyesh Mahesh Shavalakla. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sports Studies in the Faculty of Health Sciences and Sport, Shinchiri Ra.
Kevin Grant, that was I know how much work goes on behind the scenes, how much practice goes on to deliver the announcements of these awards, and it's really, really appreciated. There are also people who can't be here, which is always important. And in fact, in this ceremony, we have quite a lot of students who would have graduated today, but for whatever reason, maybe they have gone back home abroad, perhaps they're ill, maybe they're working already. So there are 242 students who are not present but are receiving their degrees officially today through this ceremony. And many of them may be watching on the live stream. So I confer upon those candidates listed in the official record who have satisfied the academic requirements and who are not present the awards for which they are qualified. Congratulations to them as well. Now, all that success this university has and all the success that we see on the stage here today and in front of us doesn't happen by accident. This university has a top quality management team across the faculties and in the executive office, and it's led by our principal, Professor Sir Jerry McCormack, and I would like to invite Professor McCormack to now address the Assembly. Jerry.
Thank you very much, Lord McConnell. Many of you will know Lord McConnell as the former First Minister of Scotland, and as he mentioned, he was here at this university 40 years ago, and he came back here as Chancellor several years ago and has been presiding over these ceremonies every time since, and we're just delighted that one of our own is back and has done such amazing things in the world. He only touched on it a little bit in his presentation, but he's been all around the world doing charitable works, and of course is hugely influential in the House of Lords. So just at the end, this is the last ceremony of the winter, and so I'd like, on behalf of everybody at the university, to once again thank our Chancellor, Jack McConnell. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to congratulate all of you, all of our graduates. I hope that you do have a wonderful day today, and I think there'll still be some daylight by the time the ceremony is over, so you should get some daylight or twilight photographs. And of course, down at Campus Central, we have all the lights on, so you'll get the benefit of those too. Graduation is always the highlight of our calendar, and today's ceremony and all of these ceremonies are important rituals and the culmination of the university experience. And I think it's really important that we celebrate publicly your well-deserved achievements with your classmates here, our teaching and professional support staff, and of course your family and friends. And as you've heard already, in graduating you join a multicultural global network of more than 100,000 Stirling alumni from 180 countries. I would encourage you to please stay in touch with us, stay in touch with each other, wherever your career journey happens to take you. And if you haven't already, I'd encourage you to engage with the Alumni Association. Once you're a graduate of Stirling, you're always part of the Stirling family. Graduation is a bridging moment. It's a time to pause and look back on your achievements and to look forward to the road ahead. You might have noticed on these lecterns, and you'll see on your certificates, our coat of arms, which is reserved for special ceremonial events like graduation. It features 3 open books signifying that the pursuit of knowledge is central to all we do, with its references to a tower and battlements and a river at full flood. The coat of arms also speaks of our historic city of Stirling. But there's another element within the coat of arms that's a powerful symbol of who we are and what we're about. A solid bridge with 7 arches spans the water. Of course, it's Stirling Bridge, and Stirling Bridge is a nod to our past, but it also says something about our purpose as a place of learning. Bridges connect places. They enable us to overcome obstacles in our path to reach our destination. They're good vantage points. And of course, bridges bring people together. Perhaps today especially, but also as you go through life, there'll be times when you'll think back to being a Stirling student. You'll have your own memories and personal feelings about what the university means to you. Regardless of your vantage point, you can take confidence from the knowledge and skills you gained while studying here. Draw strength from the resilience you developed, and I hope think fondly of the friendships you made here and the people you came to love in this place. On behalf of the entire university community, I wish you all continued success in the future. Please do keep in touch. We'll always be waiting for you with open arms on this side of the bridge. Once again, many congratulations.
So, 2 more things to say before we finish up. First one is very important, as I discovered again this morning. So when we finish the ceremony, the platform party will come off and they'll be followed by the students, the graduates, I should say. And that is a final opportunity for you to give them a big round of applause before they leave the hall. You'll see the individual faces on the screen when your friend or your son or your daughter or whoever it is, your mum or your dad, whoever it is that's here getting their degree, appears on that screen. Please still be in the hall and give them a good clap as we leave down the centre. But wait until the platform's empty before you come up out the seats, as I discovered earlier when people got up and left before we quite had got to that stage. You'd be amazed how often it happens. But the other thing to say is that these ceremonies, this is the last one of the year. We had 2 ceremonies in March. We had 5 in the summer, and we've had 3 this week. And this is the last ceremony of the year. And these ceremonies don't happen out of thin air. A lot of hard work goes in to them. The people who take part in this ceremony, from Iona handing out the certificates, Christy with the mace, Dan the piper, who will pipe us out, piperdan.co.uk, I think is his website. He asked me to give that a mention if anybody wants to give him some work. And I mentioned earlier Thistle Brass, but of course all the individual presenters, those who are sorting out the names here when someone's arrived late, making sure they're in the right place. Everybody's role is so very, very important. But in any event like this, there are dozens of people behind the scenes, volunteers and staff, who are helping to make sure you have the best possible experience on the day. So that whole team of staff and volunteers, led by Claire Kidd, I really want to thank them. But I'm going to pick out one person who has been part of the ceremonies for the last 2 years, all 25 ceremonies, because we promised everybody who didn't get a ceremony during COVID that they could come back, and we ended up with about 15 last year when everybody came back in the summer, and we had all those ceremonies. Unfortunately for us, maybe fortunately in the long term for her, Emma Ryan is heading off to Australia before the March ceremonies. I think she's standing at the back somewhere, but Emma and the whole team, please give them a big round of applause. She's been a picture of calm all the time I've been Chancellor, but she'll be pretty embarrassed now. But that's life, Emma. There'll be even more of that in Australia. I now declare the ceremony for the conferment of degrees and other academic distinctions closed. Have a great day. Thank you very much.